Fabio, we'll start with you. Obviously, the first qualifying session for you guys in 8 months must have been a long, long time, but it must have been a difficult qualifying session as well with this heat. Yesterday, there were a few struggles, so where on earth did you find that lap from?
Well, first of all, the Friday morning was so tough. First of all, the first 20 minutes, I was not able to ride, and then FP1 was not so easy. But finally, we make quite a big change on FP2. We improve quite a lot on the pace, and also we don't make like a time attack on the Friday. So this morning, we try it. We had a good feeling, and the track was totally different from the morning. I didn't expect that grip in the afternoon, but finally had a really good confidence with the bike, good grip. So let's see for tomorrow. But honestly, I felt great on the bike.
Maverick and Marc, in particular, seem to have very, very good pace. That was shown in free practice 4. You're not too far away, but do you feel like there's something more to maybe try and find in warm-up? And what is the strategy for tomorrow's race?
Well, the strategy is not planned yet, but honestly, I think we found something a little bit better at the end of FP4. I stopped quickly in the garage to make a small change. And tomorrow morning in the warm-up, we will need to confirm. But I think that we are going in a good way. Finally, was such a long time that we don't ride the bike, and also on 2020 machine is not a few. Let's say we only had tests in Sepang and in Qatar, so it's just our first race. So we will need to adapt and find the best setup as possible.
Fabio, congratulations and good luck for tomorrow. Maverick, we'll move on to you. Front row, really important, always here in Jerez, but perhaps more so for tomorrow because it's going to be the first time you guys have raced for a long time. Brilliant laps from all three of you. I mean, you're all on lap record pace, but you look quietly confident. Your race pace also looking good.
Yes, honestly, the laps has been very fast. I didn't expect to ride that fast with this heat, but the track looks like really good. And especially the tire is working fantastic. So for tomorrow, I mean, the plan is to start, push from the beginning, and trying to understand really good which is the best way for the tires. But anyway, I mean, tomorrow gonna be a fun race. I mean, gonna be heat, tough race, which I like. And it's many months that we were stopped, so it's nice to sit here and feel that confidence I have in ourselves.
For tomorrow's race, what is the most important part of it for you? Is it the start of the race? Because at times last year there were some issues, and is it important to try and lead the race early?
For sure, going to be very important to be first or second in the first corner, and then try to put our rhythm will be crucial. So it's the way our bike works. So we're going to try to be at the maximum from the first lap, and I mean the tires are working really good, especially the last 10 laps with our bike. So we need to take profit of that.
Maverick, well done. Thank you very much. We now move on to the world champion, Marc Marquez. You said in Parc Ferme it was very important for you to be on the front row, as we just mentioned to Maverick as well. And you were really, really pushing the Honda, some fantastic lap times. You won here from 3rd place last year. What are you expecting ahead of tomorrow?
Yeah, of course, happy because the comeback from the pre-season until this race weekend was a big step during these months, and especially today in Jerez. And yeah, these 2 guys, they were the fastest guys in the pre-season, and also yesterday and today they were riding very fast. So my intention was try to be on the front row because it's the thing that maybe on the qualifying practice on the whole lap is where we miss something. Still, we need to understand well. But just basically like last year in FP4, I try to concentrate on my race pace. I try to work on my lines, and yeah, tomorrow will be a tough race, hot conditions, manage the tires. After Moto2 race, always is changing a lot the track, so will be interesting to understand. And yeah, let's see if we can fight against them.
Given that you guys have been off for 8 months, I mean, your pace looked scary in free practice 4. So quick, so consistent. But is tomorrow potentially going to be one of the most physically demanding races that you guys have ever had in Europe because of the heat and because you've not raced for that long?
Yeah, of course. I mean, in FP4, the race pace, as you say, was really good. More than the first 2 laps, because when you go out from the box, the grip is much better. Then the most difficult thing is keep the rhythm and try to understand. So the most important was keep that race pace during a lot of laps, and tomorrow, as you say, will be crucial. I mean, both Yamaha riders have a good pace too, and yeah, we will try to understand where is our level, where is his level, and find the maximum on Sunday race.
Marc, thank you very much, and well done. Gentlemen, it's great to have you back, I have to say. At the front row for tomorrow's Grand Prix in MotoGP, Fabio Quartararo from Maverick Vinales and Marc Marquez. We now move on to Moto2, of course, your second outing of the season so far, Jorge. Saturday afternoons, you used to be here quite a lot in Moto3, and finally now you've done it in Moto2 as well. Is this perhaps a sign that you're starting to click with Moto2 and that you're ready to now fight for some trophies?
Well, for sure, you know, from last year to this year, we changed to Carex chassis, and all the precision, and also in Qatar, I wasn't so comfortable with the front end of the bike, and I think here I am starting to understand where is the limit, like with the online Moto3. So I think that when I understand good this point, I will be so fast. And yeah, today my first pole position in Moto2, so really happy. I didn't expect that because yesterday in the hot conditions it was quite difficult for me, but the team did an amazing job, and also my pace is so good for tomorrow.
Obviously, Qatar didn't go quite to plan for you, and we know now that it looks like we're going to have a shortened amount of races in 2020. How important is it now going to be to try and limit mistakes, and how important is it just to take as many points that are on offer as possible here tomorrow?
Well, for me it's a strange situation because I am 25 points down already, so you know, I need to recover points, so I need to attack, but also I need to finish all the races to make points, and every point is really important for the championship, but my mentality is going race by race and try to win. That's it.
Jorge, thank you very much. The best of luck tomorrow. We finally come to Tatsuki Suzuki in Moto3. Tatsuki, 100% record in 2020 with back-to-back pole positions. Congratulations. You've been really fast across every single session. Your pace looks really good as well. And you broke the lap record. What was the key to getting that lap here today?
Well, actually, I was a little bit surprised about my lap time because, you know, afternoon here, the conditions are much different between the morning. So this morning we try to find the setup for the afternoon for the hot condition, and let's say we found a good combination for the front setup and the rear setup, because yesterday afternoon I was struggling a lot on the braking point. It was really difficult to stop the bike, but you know, after that modify I was really comfortable on the bike, so I immediately when started the qualify made a 45.7. I wasn't expect that, but after that lap, I say maybe I try a little bit more, and then I made a lap time record.
Tatsuki, in previous years in Moto3, there's always been maybe 2 or 3 riders that stand out that end up fighting for the World Championship, and this year it looks really difficult to predict. You're definitely one of the riders fighting for the World Championship, but who else do you think particularly looks strong going into the 2020 season?
Well, I think one of the most fast rider in this season, I think the Arenas, who won the Qatar. Also McPhee, he's one of the guy has a lot of experience, so during the race he can manage the situation with the Moto3, because you know Moto3 race always a huge group, it's difficult to manage, but McPhee, yeah, I think one of the rider he can manage the situation. And it's difficult to say because I wasn't expecting like Celestino, Emilio, Qatar wasn't fast, but here the race pace was fantastic from yesterday afternoon. So it's difficult to say who gonna be the rival for the championship, but you know, I think their guy is one of the potential to win.
Very best of luck to you tomorrow. Well done, Tatsuki. That's all from me, gentlemen. It's now time to hand over to our friends and journalists via Zoom.
Hi guys, congrats on the qualifying. Question to Marc and to Maverick. First question to Marc. Are you using a new chassis from yesterday? That's question to Marc. And question to Maverick. Maverick, do you think that your different braking style is helping you to get something more from the bike and from the rear tire than Valentino does? Because he definitely is struggling on the entry. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not using the new chassis. Yesterday it's true that we tried and we did some comparison, but was not clear. And just today I concentrate on my current bike, on current chassis, and yeah, we just focus to improve the setup. And definitely on the afternoon session we did some modifications, we improved, and then the last run we put the best what we get, and yeah. For this Jerez one, we find a good base, and is the one that we will race tomorrow.
Well, I think I don't know Valentino's situation, but what I can say is that since the first run I run with the 2020 bike, I felt really good, and you know the feeling is always great in any track. So we are trying to understand the maximum potential from the bike, and for sure we feel much better. We feel much better, and I think there is tracks that for sure can fit better with my riding style. Jerez is not one of my strongest. But here I feel I'm on the point, I feel confident, which is always very interesting.
Hi, good afternoon. Congratulations to you all. Tammy from Sport 5 Israel. I have a question for Martin. You, in Moto3, you started with Mahindra, which was a little bit more difficult. Then you moved to Honda. It felt like back then that helped you a little bit because you went from something really tough to something a little bit easier, more friendly. It seemed like maybe now with the KTM, you moved to Palex. Is that the same kind of feeling? And how do you feel now with the Palex?
Well, I think it's close, you know. In Mahindra, I struggled a lot in the past, and then when I moved to Honda, I felt so good. And here I'll be the same. In KTM, I think, you know, you improve your riding style to catch the fastest ones, and last year I did 2 podiums with KTM, but now we changed to Kalex, everything is new. But I can see the potential in every track is much higher, and yeah, I am making much faster times and feeling confident for a moment, and hopefully I can end the year in the same way as in Moto3.
Good luck.
Hi. Frank Weying from Eurosport Holland. A question for Marc. Marc, we saw an incident this morning in FP3. Obviously, no penalty for you, but could you tell us what you felt when, with Alex Rins behind you? Obviously, you didn't see him. What is your view on that situation, on that incident?
Yeah, as you say, obviously I didn't see him, but anyway, what the cameras didn't show, or maybe later yes, but was a double yellow flag on turn 2, and was some marshals and some rider in the middle. So I slowed down, and yeah, I mean, when it's double yellow flag, you must slow down, and you cannot be on your fastest lap. So for that reason, I didn't look behind, because I didn't expect that somebody was pushing on that situation.
Okay.
Yes. Hi guys. Thomas Beaujard from Motojournal in France. Question to Fabio. You said yesterday that the 2019 M1 was more easy than the 2020 M1 that you have now. In which respect is the new bike more tricky to exploit at 100%?
Well, I mean, it's not more difficult, but with the 2019 bike at the end of the year, I was feeling better, because you have already 19 races done, you have the test, and here is like 5 months we don't race on this machine, so for sure we need time of adaptation, you know, to adapt and feel exactly same as 2019 bike. But like I said, the potential of the bike is really good, but not feeling exactly same as last year's bike. But like I said, we will need to make more laps, more practice, because we are only in the first race of the season.
Simon Patterson from the race. Oh, sorry. Simon Patterson from the race. Fabio, I think you said after in Parc Fermé that your lap could have been even faster if it wasn't for the yellow flags with Rins and the crash. What could you have done, or what could have happened? How fast could you have went more?
No, honestly, could be a little bit better, but from 0-0 something. I make a mistake in corner 6, but then was a crash in turn 11. I didn't really see who was the rider, but you know, when you saw a bike yellow flag, you don't go as fast as a normal lap. So I slowed down a little bit, and yeah, that's what I mean. I was not really at 100% on the limit in this corner, but my lap was really good, and yeah, was almost perfect lap, but just these 2 points was a little bit critical.
Thank you. No thanks, Freddie. Frank asked it.
Hi, Lewis Duncan from Autosport. Question for Fabio. In Malaysia last year, you suffered quite a lot with the front overheating, despite having really good pace. Is that something you worked on or could work on in the winter? Because obviously tomorrow is going to be very hot. In a pack race, you could suffer again with the front tire. Is this something you've worked on? Is this a concern for you?
Well, honestly, last year we struggled with overheat the front tire, but was more in track like Mugello, Malaysia, with a long straight and you have a lot of slipstream. But then in this kind of track, even if it's really hot, we don't have really the pressure and overheat in the front. So honestly, in this track is not a problem. So at the moment here we have no struggle in this area.
Imre Pavlovic, Motorsport Actuel and Motorrad. Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Okay, a question to Marc. Marc, over 1 day of tests and 2 days of practice, do you feel that your shoulder is completely healed out, and is actually the nerve injury that you had also completely healed?
Yes, I already feel in the first day that I can have a normal riding style, and yeah, the worry is that sometimes is passing the days maybe becomes worse or better. But yeah, on Wednesday, on Thursday was a little bit worse, but then yesterday was better, today is better. So about physical condition, I don't have any problem, and I can ride the bike like I want with the same performance as always.
Yes, thank you, Frida. I have a question for Maverick. Maverick, ¿cómo estás? Maverick, one question. Last year with the Yamaha, you had problems to really perform what you were able to perform when you had another bike in the front, remember? Now, this bike is new. You haven't raced with this bike. Do you think you will still have this problem, or has the bike given you this extra to really fight when you have somebody in front?
It's gonna depend about the bike we have in front. As we know, for example, with Honda and with the other Yamaha, I can fight a little bit better. With the Ducati, it's always difficult because I cannot make a speed corner, so we cannot be very close to them. So it's difficult to overtake on the braking area. Anyway, for sure, we make an improvement, and sure the bike is better, especially on brakes. And you know, finally, if it's last lap, I'm gonna try to overtake over I can. But yeah, for sure, with the Ducati it's always difficult, but with the other manufacturers we improve quite a lot.
Thank you.
Hola, sí. ¿Se oye bien? I have two questions for Maverick. The first one is, do you need Maverick victory tomorrow to believe that you can win the title more than the other favorites? And the second one is that if you can't win tomorrow, which victory is better for you, victory of Marc or Fabio? Thank you.
Well, first of all, to try to win the championship, I have to beat this man. He's the favorite one. It's always tricky, you know, because we have to be every weekend there fighting for winning, so it's not an easy job. Still, we need things to improve on the bike. But anyway, we have a good chance. The possibility is there for tomorrow. If one of them win, I don't know. I prefer to be the one who wins.
Okay. A question for the two Yamaha riders. Valentino said that in his opinion, the Yamaha has a higher consumption for the tire because the lack of power compared to the Honda, and it seems it's not the case for you. What's your explanation?
Well, I think first of all, it's true that the top speed and the power of our bike is not the best, as you can see. But we have another positive point, is that the bike for me turns really well, can stop really well. So honestly, I think that managing the tires, we need to work quite a lot. But then, you know, you can't have always the positive. So it's difficult to say, but honestly today with 25 laps on the tire at the end of FP4, I was not feeling so bad. But yeah, the only problem is the top speed, but managing the tires for me is not too bad.
Actually, I feel that compared previous years, we have done a big improvement, especially on heat condition, which the consistency is much better. So the bike is very similar from one practice to another, so we can work much better on the setup and much better to understand the tires. But anyway, here in Jerez, we have no problem with tire demanding. I mean, we are quite good, and it's quite surprising with this heat, and the tires is working on a really good way. For sure, we have our weak points, our strong points, but here in Jerez, we have many strong points, which tomorrow we need to use.
Nadia Tronchoni from El País. Fabio, you said some days ago, last year you were like obsessed of being the first one in every practice, but you never got the victory. So the question is, what was left? What have you learned these months? What have you improved?
Well, honestly, last year I was too obsessed about, you know, finishing as high as possible, you know, finish in every practice, FP1, FP2, FP3, whatever was the practice. And at the end, last year I finished first, but in the most important session, that was the race, I never finished. So the most important is to work on the race pace, and I think we make quite a big step on it. But we are still missing a little bit compared to Marc and Maverick. But we are working on it. Is the most important, and with the team we make a step. So we hope to improve even more in the next races.
Ciao, this is Paolo Danieri from Gazzetta dello Sport. A question to Fabio and Maverick. As you said, the top speed is where Yamaha is struggling the most against Honda and Ducati. So the tactic tomorrow should be to try to stay in front in the first stages of race, to try to block also Marc from escaping. Is it what you're going to try to do? Thank you.
Well, looking the pace of Marc will be difficult to escape because he is already faster than us. So we will need to see. I think the most important is to make a good start, good first laps, and then we will see how to manage the race. But to escape from Marc tomorrow will be so difficult because on the paper he's faster, but it's difficult to plan because, you know, like you said, the top speed is not the best. So we will try to make the group as smaller as possible, and then we will see what happened on the race.
Yes, as Fabio said, for us it's very important the first lap, so we will try to be in the front from the first corner, trying to put three, 4 laps really fast, and then going to be very important to maintain the tires in a good temperature, because here with the heat it's very easy to overheat the rear tire, and then as he said, very difficult if we want to escape from Marc. Marc has a really good rhythm. We want to hope to finish with him in the last lap, and then we will see if we can fight against him.
Yes, I have a question for Marc. Marc, for me it's amazing that basically you have started here with a complete different bike than you did the preseason, right? Have you been able to be as fast as you are because it's a bike you know very well from last year?
Yeah, of course. During our preseason, I was with one different bike, and you can see also different aerodynamic package. But then with the new rules, we just understand that it was not the moment to try new things. And then we come back and we have an evolution from 19 bike. And yeah, during first day, Wednesday, and yesterday, the speed was there, but maybe that sweet feeling was not there with the bike, and it's what I find today. Today already in FP3, but especially in FP4, I start to feel that sweet feeling, that try to understand in a better way what the bike is asking to me, and to be fast. And yeah, of course, as both Yamaha riders say, they are riding fast, but anyway, I feel good. Then we will see. I mean, it's not the same in a practice time that 25 laps in a row, but it's a bike that I know very well from last year.
Thank you very much.
Greg from Polsat here again. Question to all the MotoGP riders: have you chosen your tires? Because you saw that Maverick, for example, was using soft and hard in the FP4. So what's your choice for tomorrow's race about the front tire and the rear?
Well, front tire for me is quite clear. Will be with the hard one. But the rear is, we make more laps with the soft than with the medium, but we will need to consider the medium choice for the race. Depends on the temperature also, but will be a choice between soft and medium.
Difficult to say. I have many questions on mine. For sure, I have working a lot with the hard front and with the soft front. With both of them, I have a really good feeling. Gonna be more of about the strategy of the race. So we want to choose in the last moment, as always, and trying to do the correct choice.
I will choose hard front, soft rear. I think everybody will have the same spec. Front maybe some different options, but the rear, soft one, have a better performance. So I believe that everybody will race with that one, and I will choose.
Yeah, Frank from Eurosport Holland again, for Marc. Again, Marc, we heard what the strategy is for both the Yamaha riders, and you said you just hope to stick with them. But what do you think will be your strategy in the opening part of the races? Because we all know that if you're with them in the end, you will attack.
Yeah, depends how is your position on the first laps. It's true that both Yamahas, the intention is push from the beginning, but also I can be patient, because normally when I follow somebody, as last year, I feel even easier, and I feel faster. But anyway, on FP4 I had the pace to be in the front. So yeah, depends. If I feel that they have a good pace, why not follow them and just try to play our cars in the end? But of course, if I feel strong, why not push from the beginning until the end? But anyway, it depends how we will have the track after Moto2 race.
One question for Fabio. Fabio, you said before that you cannot know very well this bike. Of course, it's normal, because you used it just from Malaysia. Could be a limit for the race tomorrow?
No, I think will be a good experience. First race with the 2020 bike. Like I said, the potential is there. I have good feeling. The pace is not so bad, so will be fun. After a long time since Valencia, the first thing I want to do is to enjoy, and for sure everything will go fine. The good start, good first laps, and then we cross the fingers to go as fast as possible.
Yes, last one for you, Fabio. According to the official statistician in MotoGP, Thomas Morcellino, you're now the Frenchman with the biggest amount of pole position, which is 7 in the King's class. What does that make you feel?
Well, pole position, like I said, is really important. But for me, what means is the podium and victories. And victories we have 0. So at the moment, it's always a pleasure to be the Frenchman with most pole position, but we will try now for the next step, that is from the victories, because the counter is still 0.
Okay, gentlemen, that concludes the press conference. Thank you very much. It's great to be back. The best of luck tomorrow. Stay safe. If I can ask you all now to just please stand as a group for the photo at the front. If you could come forward, I'm going to move out of the way.